Hello, everybody, and welcome to U of M-Flint Esports. Today, we are going to be broadcasting some Overwatch 2. We're playing in NACE Starleague, and it's going to get hot in here.
Yeah.
I'm joined by Right Click. I'm Skydagger. Yeah, it's a good time. Second time's a little weirder, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a little.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of threw all the introduction out in the first stream, and it's like, what do I say now? Do we just talk or?
Yeah.
All right, what do we got on the table here?
So basically, University of Missouri is who we're going up against today, and it's a little bit skewed in terms of skill, or at least on paper. We're looking at their highest ranked player being around a Diamond 2, and I mean, our highest ranked player we know is like top 500, but Pixel at the current moment is not here. So we've got a little bit of a different composition. We got Demon, we got Dorbino, of course, classic, but Beedrick and Mavie and JJ following it up. It's a little bit different than what we're used to, but certainly, at least on paper, wins against University of Missouri.
Yeah, but maybe with the the subs and Pixel not being here, the synergy might like be a little bit different since Demon hasn't been playing on the team that whole lot, and synergy is actually a gigantic factor when it comes into a game like Overwatch, where it's so team dependent, where most of the time you're not gonna have a solo carrying player.
Right.
So maybe that gives University of Missouri a chance here, but never know until the game starts.
You never know until the game starts. And right on cue, U of M-Flint loads into the Arctic Peninsula.
What map is this again? Hardpoint?
This looks to be...
Oh yeah, this is a hardpoint. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've been trying to catch back up on Overwatch. Played a couple games with some friends recently.
Yeah?
Don't know what's going on anymore. There's a whole lot of different dynamics with hardpoint and these new maps. Sometimes feeling a little lost, but still kind of exciting.
Yeah.
More field research. Grand.
With Dorbino opting for his signature Zarya here,
You gotta love it.
playing into Wizard G's Reinhardt and their rush comp. Now, let's see, they're running the Sim Bastion with the Bap Lucio, so they can really just set up and run into our team here. Actually, we swapped onto Orisa. Now, I'm trying to think about this this team comp here. Like you got Tor Bastion against Sim Bastion. Like Flint has a lot of good setup here, but they don't really have the movement and positioning compared to the Symmetra. And with the speed boost from the Lucio, it might make Flint's life a little bit harder.
Dorbino falling a little bit closer to point here, going to be playing a little bit further, and that might be a little bit of an overextension as Pugatti gets a 4K. Dorbino not able to hold it down here. The front line kind of peels away as the back is revealed, and Pugatti able to completely crush through it.
Yeah, it's as I said, with the Symmetra TP, they just have the Bastion run into the back line. Like, I see where Dorbino was trying to go with cutting off the Rein from a different angle, but that just gives them free reign onto the back line.
U of M-Flint still holding very solidly on point here.
Wizard dropping extremely late, getting caught by a spear, and immediately dying. Demon diffing enemy Bastion here. As they do a bit of cleanup, point goes over to U of M-Flint.
And what a retake here. U of M-Flint moving in swiftly, and it seems to be that much more contested. University of Missouri starts to regroup and head back for U of M-Flint. This attack is going to be a big one.
Now, I do see the fact that Missouri's got the Symmetra ultimate up. And it really denies a lot of damage from Flint here. Like, we have the Torb and Bastion, which don't really go through projectiles. Baptiste ultimate coming through. Demon getting picked by Pugatti here. Wizard charging into backline. Lamp is thrown out. Symmetra ulti comes out, but Wizard does not make it out alive. Jagged Wire finding 2 more picks on the Flint. As Dorbino looks for a contest here. They do manage to cap the point, but he finds nothing with the ultimate, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Demon
real big
catching out the
CC.
bat.
Holy.
Pugatti might die here. He's caught out very far. LG managing to get the cleanup, but there is just too much damage thrown at the Orisa.
Beedrick trying to lay down some damage, but to no avail, needing to pull completely back. UM-Flint really needs to find this counterattack and maybe regain some tempo.
Now we do have 3 ultimates stacked up here. We have our Alari ultimate, Molten Core, and Artillery. They can find a lot of space with the Molten Core here, but they have to throw it out now or else the Rhine is threatening the Shatter here. As it finds 1, Jagged Wire manages to kill on the JJ here. Demon falling to the Lucio, and Flint is just getting massacred by the Symmetra setup here. But Dorbino finds the kill on the Jagged Wire. However, they don't have any heal, so he's left on 40 HP, and Ryzon finds both picks onto Mavi and Dorbino. We are down to our last push here, 10% more. Still holding on to the Artillery. They can find a lot of space with this. But the Symmetra wall can really deny a lot of push here.
Reinhardt missing that charge. It's going to be big, but JJ being caught out on point. That's going to be down a healer here. UM-Flint down a healer for this push. It gets to be punishing UM-Flint, not able to regain much territory, but Dorbino still harassing the enemies on point, trying to keep that overtime up. Just barely getting onto point as overtime starts flipping away. Dorbino just holding it down, and it goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just saw the value from Jagged Wire's ultimates here.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
as I said earlier, Tor Bastion can't really function in the big glass wall, destroying any hopes of damage on the enemy backline.
For absolute sure. You know, it's just UM-Flint completely outzoned here.
Yeah. As we move on to point 2, Missouri switches over to a little bit more of a dive comp with the Genji and Doomfist. Gonna swap into Soldier. Now once again, Flint really likes the comps where they thrive with setup, the Torb and Bastion and the Alari, but it's very hard to recover momentum when their backline is ravaged by this Genji Doomfist.
Yeah, I mean, establishing a foothold is, you know, the first half of the battle, but doesn't really matter much when your foothold is just jelly.
Rubino taking a lot of space here, still being kept up by the Moira orbs. Dishing out a lot of damage onto the backline. Sleep Dart comes out from Ryzon. Dowji taking space from the choke. Jagged finding a trade on the Demon. Dundas falls to Dorbino. Feedrick and Mavi finding picks onto Missouri's backline. This Bugatti has to run away. Flint takes the point. Now we do have a Coalescence on our Moira for counter engage, but
Is it going to be enough?
honestly, I do think so. Like, the Genji Doomfist doesn't seem like they deal a whole lot of like consistent damage to really burst through the Coalescence. Maybe finding a pick on the Jagged here, really denying a lot of momentum.
Demon.
Coalescence coming out, looking for as much as they can here. Doomfist clipped onto the wall, but manages to get back through the door. I don't know what just happened there.
A little awkward.
Hero is just so buggy.
Urbino laying that damage down, trying to keep that choke point held off. Of course, UM-Flint loving the time they're having on this point, but University of Missouri finally having to make a move. Bugatti getting to that Lucio ult, playing big.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dorbino was a little caught up on the choke while Bugatti just ran through the rest of Flint. Now, I was going to say that I see a big push coming here because they had, what, 3-4 ults running up. And they still managed to conserve the Meteor Strike and the Dragon Blades, with Mavy's Molten Core being the only saving grace against this upcoming Genji ulti. Might be a little hard for Flint to walk through. As we see Dorbino switch back onto the Zarya. Really look for his backline here. Jagged Wire's Dragon Blade coming out, finding a pick on the Joji, but maybe making the trade. 4v4 here. Doom 1 HP and Dorbino manages to find the pick. They have a lot of space to walk on the point here. It's a 3v4. Dorbino can be kept up here. It's really big. Bugatti falling to Mavy.
Dorbino doesn't seem to be getting too much healing here. Definitely a problem when your healers aren't right directly on point with you, but it doesn't matter. Missouri down and out for the count for the moment.
And Mavy got some very large picks that fight as Dorbino continues to hold up this momentum. Wizard not quite connecting the pin onto Dorbino. Demon's Artillery coming out. Bugatti looking for a solo visor around the back line. Getting absolutely destroyed by Dorbino here. Big bubble on the Demon from Dorbino as he looks to ravage the Ana in the back line. Demon finding 2 more picks. Jumps into the Ana on the high ground. My God.
Dorbino feeling himself tonight. Overtime takes down, and UM-Flint takes 1.
Well played to Flint here. They really worked up with that momentum. Like, DPS played really well this fight. You were seeing Mavy and Demon getting those picks left and right, and then
Absolutely.
Dorbino taking all the space in the world, so Bugatti or Wire couldn't find anything. And, you know, Ryzon on the Ana couldn't really get anything done because the bubbles were just denying all the big nades and
Nothing breaks that I cannot mend.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's,
really all that.
it's that. Yeah, I mean, it's that denial of damage that Zarya and especially Dorbino's Zarya really plays into, and enemy teams just don't know how to pierce through that at times. Dorbino really coming back to that Zarya definitely helped out a lot. But of course, we do see that Symmetra come back with that Reinhardt. It's going to be an interesting one.
Now we are walking into the choke with a 80 charge Zarya here. If they can manage a wraparound on the point, then maybe they can get something done. Because Missouri's really banking on this setup with the Sim Bastion. So if they can find the angles around the Rhine, they can dish out a lot of damage. Wizard getting very low here. Sim falling to Beedrick here. As Missouri are pushed all the way back to that beginning choke. Dorbino's looking like he's looking for a wraparound for this Bastion here. Bugatti falling to Dorbino. Wizard managing to get out because of pin, but Dundas could not say the same. And Ryzon is gone after a little wave.
Yeah, that's tough. Flint establishes a solid foothold, and getting a pick on that Rhine is just tough. Missouri not in a great state, and UM-Flint is really just playing into them, trying to keep any momentum from building at all. Dorbino keeping his shields charged.
You know, I'm seeing something really big here. We have the grab and Coalescence here. Big grab onto the entirety of Missouri. Coalescence comes out from Joji, and it's a team kill.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Unfortunately, Wire did not find a well enough place TP. straight into Dorbino's grab.
And that's gotta affect mental. You know that.
You know, Wire's getting the heat on the other side of the microphone here.
Absolutely.
As Bugatti finds the artillery onto the choke. No picks for Missouri here.
Yeah, not really good effect on target, but Missouri actually taking U of M-Flint down with a swift retake.
The Amp Matrix just gave so much damage. They didn't expect it. Biedrich and whoever else died saw the end of it.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. I mean, it was practically the rest of the team save for Dorbino. That retake was devastating. Though U of M-Flint does still have that momentum.
Might be slowing down a little bit with that pick on the Joji. Jagged Wire with the weird teleport into the back line, but even with the 2 picks from Demon, Wizard finds a big Earth Shatter on the Flint here. Demon's still being kept up by Biedrich, but Bugatti with the wraparound manages to find him.
Demon still surviving like a cockroach after a nuke. That was kind of insane. Getting targeted by 2 enemy heroes at once. That was quite a bit. Missouri pushes back, tries to establish a front line for U of M-Flint's counter push.
As the Symmetra ulti comes out, it's very hard for Flint to find an angle here as Jagged Wire just takes all the damage from the Bastion with no return. Bugatti finding another pick on the Maybe. U of M-Flint has to back off. Point coming close to 70 here. They have maybe 1 to 2 fights left. Turbino finding a big pick on the Bugatti. The Immortality Field gone from the Baptiste. They have a lot of room to work with here. Coalescence coming out from Joji. Dorbino looking for a wraparound with the Graviton Surge. Lots of potential here. Bugatti does have the artillery ready for next fight once Missouri regroups, but is it really enough to get them back into the game and contest before it's over?
I'm going to say I highly doubt it. Dorbino is completely charged, and U of M-Flint's tempo is out of this map. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's not much you can do when there's a fully charged Zarya in your backline here. Ryzon getting really bullied from that as they get grabbed off. U of M-Flint takes
Game 1.
Yeah.
Game 1.
Well
Beautiful.
played.
You know, we sound surprised. We're not. But at the same time, you know, Missouri came out of the gate really scrappy.
Yeah. Round 1 was really rough for Flint with kind of their outdraft type with the Symmetra.
For sure.
But Dorbino picked up his Zarya and really just retook the game.
Yeah, I mean, it just got there, you know? Eventually, U of M-Flint able to kind of settle themselves in and be like, no, this is how the game's going to go. And they just push through that Zarya, that Dorbino just pulling it back. Nicely done. And of course, shout out to Mavie, keeping that damage going.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good performances from our DPS this game. Like for round 2 and 3, you were seeing a lot of damage being dished out by Demon's Bastion,
Yeah.
and Mavie was really getting those high, not priority, what is it? High impact picks, especially in the
Absolutely.
beginning of those fights. Really gave Flint a lot of momentum to work with, and Dorbino just got to run free. Supports just
Held it down.
yeah.
Absolutely held it down. I mean, you know, for such a scary tank like Dorbino, one who really takes those risks, and you know, U of M-Flint obviously benefits from them. You gotta keep them up. You gotta keep them healed. You gotta keep them sustaining for the entirety of the fight. So it's ultimately so important, and our supports are doing a great job of that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you're giving Dorbino an inch here, he's taking a mile away
For
from you.
absolute sure, yeah, no doubt about it.
Like, Missouri was making some minor mistakes, but Dorbino was really capitalizing off of those and really just secured Flint that win.
Yeah, I mean, you see the DPS's fall just getting picked off, being a little too far forward, and U of M-Flint just spirals into, you know, that Lucio also. You see Dundas being a little overextended, being in a spot where the front line isn't there to protect him, completely annihilated, and Missouri has no sustain. It was a really nice match for U of M-Flint, safe to say.
For sure. Yeah. Uh,
Looking at Eichenwald, maybe. It's
yeah,
possible.
I love me some hybrid maps here.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't seen Flint play on a hybrid map yet, so I'm kind of excited to see how they work around with this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hope to see it too, because I'm going to press the button.
This time, right?
Yes, this time it's going to happen, no doubt about it. Or I just might choose not to.
Just for fun?
Yeah.
Just for funsies? Yeah.
Because then the mistake was intentional. So
So
it
it's
wasn't
not a mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just a very stylistic choice we're working with here.
Yeah, it's artistic, and that's just, what we're working with.
You got the podcast style stream without
Yeah.
the gameplay.
Yeah. You can imagine the gameplay. It's like baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really giving in that homey feeling.
Yeah. You could play us on the radio, and we'll be right there. You can see the Zarya ult. You can see the Lucio break it down. It's just amazing. We're creating a painting in your mind. So it's that simple.
You can really feel when it's Dorbin time,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, when it's Dorbin time, you'll feel it for sure.
Like the energy just goes through the roof, and then like
They say there's like seismic pressure. There's like waves actually when it's Dorbin time. So
gravity gets a little bit heavier,
yeah.
Really takes the world by storm here.
Yeah, the world is held together just a little bit tighter due to Dorbino's power here.
And his insane performance.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's the funny thing is, it's like it's the graviton surge every time. Dorbino has. I don't think I've seen. Mark my words. I don't think I've seen him waste a graviton surge. So we have yet to see if that's even possible. But
Well,
I don't know.
if he pulls back out his signature Zarya on this map, and he does a little bit of a whoops and daisies.
Whoops and daisies.
You might have to eat your words on that one.
I don't want to. I hope I don't. Let's hope it's not like a very important one.
Like just a for fun grab. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. No, but like what I'm worried about is the graviton surge that occurs right outside the borders of the control point. And like he misses it, so it's like right on the control point.
So
So
then
then
get the
overtime
contest and
doesn't run
everything.
down.
Yeah. I mean that's like a low chance, right? Right? Yeah, Dorbino was good aim, right?
Right?
Right? I believe in it. Or not in him failing, but like his ability.
Yeah. We gotta be hoping for the right thing here.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah, didn't want any confusion here.
It's very, very important, very big.
Now the problem is, I just thought about this. Sim Bastion, if Missouri manages to hold the defense first, it might be rough for Flint, because Eichenwald just has a lot of room to work with, especially for defense and all that
For
high
sure.
ground. And Bastion kind of thrives off of that, getting all those angles to just rain held.
Yeah, exactly. Just having that vantage point can create absolute devastation. It can get to be, difficult for U of M-Flint to even remotely punch into that. It's going to be a stone wall. What does Eichenwald mean? That
I
it
don't
sounds like stone
I
wall.
don't know.
honestly. It might
It has wall in the name.
Wald, maybe Eichenwald.
I don't know. I feel like I've heard that like stem before, but I don't know. I'm no German speaker.
Well, at the very least, I certainly hope it means wall something. Something
Yeah,
wall.
because it's just fitting.
It would make sense, wouldn't it? I mean,
No, of course. Like you have the whole castle
Reinhardt's
aesthetic going on.
shield, like it makes sense. What else would it be? Blizzard. Please tell me that this map is like named something like actually referencing the character.
Now, what if no one at Blizzard speaks German and they just decided on some random German-sounding name? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
I
work at
think we
Blizzard.
would have heard about it, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. The match already's begun, and you can stop hearing us ramble. Here we go.
Nothing better to fill the time with, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Oak Forest. What?
Man, there's no wall in the name?
That doesn't. That
That's not-
doesn't
that's not
compute.
cool.
Oh, whatever.
All right.
You're the one making
Both teams have locked in their heroes here. We see Dorbino back on his signature Zarya.
strongest woman in the world.
And then, you know, we
I'm,
have the same lineup as before. We got the Moira, Lari,
Sees a fool
with the Tor Bastion. Got a lot of room to work with here with the yeah. they got a lot of angles under the bridge, especially with the Torb turret. Like, you can play really safe and hold those off angles that Jagged or Pugatti might look for. Now, Missouri is opting for more of a defensive rush-ish. Like,
Yeah.
they have the Mei to wall off any potential picks, and then Pugatti to really nail in the damage. And Dundas with the Wizard can really look for a play with the speed boost here. Now, as Jagged's wall comes out, Dorbino can look for a lot of playmaking potential here. They rotate to the high ground and drop back onto JJ, but she has fade up.
Oh, what a flank by you, Missouri.
A lot of damage dished out from the Reinhardt. Even though he falls, the DPS managed to clean up as Dorbino and whoever else is stuck in this little room here, JJ. Now, they still have potential to cap here. Dorbino finding a pick on the Bugatti. Ryzon falling next. Wizard and Dundas trying their best to contest, but his back is turned to Dorbino and he's taking a lot of damage.
Ooh. U Missouri maybe letting their guard down a little too quick. UM-Flint with a quick capture. And U Missouri is going to have to stop this payload.
Now, as we walk out with the payload here, we see that Dorbino has his grab ready. With JJ's Coalescence coming up, they can look for a really nice combo here. Dorbino looking for a little cheeky high ground flank. He manages it. He can look for a really big grab, but I doubt he can really solo kill 1v5 without all the energy. As they rush onto him, they manage to not finish him off. As the Amp Matrix comes out, the Graviton Surge runs out as well. And they are all caught into it, and Missouri are wiped out just like that. They overcommitted too much on the Dorbino and couldn't make it work.
What a move. I mean, you know, I thought with Dundas being that Lucio and having that Mei, I thought it'd be a little bit more of a mobile defense crew here, but just really unable to kind of move around Dorbino and not actually be able to do much damage to the way UM-Flint is just able to wrap around.
For sure. Now, as we do see, maybe gets picked by Wire here. They are forced out of Castle as JJ falls to Wizard as well. With Wire running in with the TP, Demon might not make it out alive as he falls to Ryzon. Dorbino, however, does manage to keep all of his energy, which may just turn the tides of next fight. As we have Beatrix Alari ulti coming up here. Maybe and Dorbino are looking for a flank up Castle. Looking for a runaround onto the stairs. Maybe getting rocked by this Bastion, unfortunately. As the Earth Shatter comes out, Dorbino has the Graviton Surge to retaliate, but no one is just alive to follow up, so he saves it here. JJ making it out alive. Dorbino still keeping nearly full charge.
Gotta acknowledge, I mean, U Missouri really solid on this vantage point, taking advantage of the angles that they're given, and they're able to really try and make an effect on U of M-Flint's push potential here. I mean, no really way for U of M-Flint to kind of conquer this vantage point that U Missouri has other than pushing them straight off.
And we did see a very odd play from Wizard charging into Flint's backline without his team, but without Dorbino being there, they take too much damage and just die. But hey, at least he's got full charge.
Yeah, Dorbino keeping that full charge. I mean, it's an absolute must.
Now we can see a really nice combo with the artillery grab here. If Dorbino manages to land a big grab, he can single out someone with the artillery and play off of that. Because getting this Bastion off the high ground is like the most important part here. As Fugatti's artillery run comes out there, forced out a castle, Dorbino using it as a way to get all of this charge back. We have been looking for a grab for a while, but Dorbino makes a wraparound back around the cart as Missouri rotates around. Wire finding the TP.
And there comes the Graviton Surge.
With the Coalescence from JJ and all the damage from Baby and Demon, Missouri falls just like that.
Wait, literally, in fact.
Ryzon making a little bit of a theatrical exit.
That's what we'll call it. Dundas.
As Dundas tries to make a contest, he instantly falls to Dorbino. Wizard finding a pick on the Demon, but I highly doubt Missouri can make it work. Except Wizard finds a big Earth Shatter on the Dorbino. Bugatti finding JJ, but they still have a support to keep Flint alive on cart. As Mavie and Dorbino manage to just hold the line, with Beedrick in the back just keeping them up. Now Dundas is pulling out some crazy movement here, contesting the cart for so long.
Slippery. Oh my goodness.
Demon finding Dundas with the artillery, Dorbino finding Wizard. As Bugatti tries to keep on cart. And Wire really trying to hold it home. They fall regardless, and Flint makes it to second point.
Getting a bit scary for you, Missouri here. UM-Flint seeing a lot of challenges along the way, but still being able to crack through anything Missouri throws at him.
Now I do see Flint's push being stopped a little bit by this upcoming Amp Matrix from Ryzon, and you know you have Symmetra Ultimate and Artillery coming up. So if Dorbino shows around this corner, they might throw it down. Never mind, Wizard and Ryzon both falling, not able to cast their ultimates down.
Missouri maybe sustaining a little too long and not making a move might just cost them this payload point here.
Maybe what's down Bugatti on this Bastion. Dundas and Jaggedwire are really selling this this contest. They managed to hold it for that long and live. Dorbino's Graviton Surge comes out with the Coalescence to come up on the damage. Demon finding a pick. Bugatti finding a pick on the Demon, but it is just not enough for Missouri. As they are team killed, Flint are going to get a lot of space here. They know they're walking out left. Dorbino finding the pick on the Jagged, really holding the line as Wizard charges on the point. Full charge Zarya in the back line. Looking for Missouri supports. Unfortunately, Wizard manages to find the pick on the JJ. Dorbino ravaging Missouri's team as he finds 4. They managed to secure it with 30 seconds left.
Man, oh
Well
man.
played.
UM-Flint giving us a show.
Dorbino really put on the work there.
Yeah, I mean, just really keeping that charge up. It's that tempo that you come to expect from him, and it's what kind of puts that nail in the coffin when Missouri has to try and push back, has to try and do that retake, try and grab as much overtime as they can. Dorbino's there to put that nail in.
Or like, you see him holding spawn doors in a NACE game. Like, this is teetering on the edge of disrespect, dare I say. Now, as we move on to Flint's defense, we see that both teams keep both their comps, actually. I expected a little bit of a change from Missouri. because they saw that the Zarya just got too much space on them. But maybe they have a strategy for attack, and I'm ready to look for this. Ready to see it.
Like that was very cinematic.
Yeah, the pan around.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
map.
yeah.
You really have been getting that practice in.
Okay.
Okay.
we're serious out here. You do not mess with UM-Flint production or Overwatch. Okay.
No more. No more.
No way.
Alright, so round starts. We see Dorbino looking for a little bit of harass. Holding onto the bubbles, looking for some charge. Unfortunately, not finding anything from that. Still sitting on 0 charge, but Missouri finding it being very patient as maybe was looking for their backline. Gets picked. They manage a lot of momentum. Wizard finding the pick onto the Demon with the pin. Bugatti running through Flint supports. Unfortunately, I don't see this looking too good for Dorbino here. They don't make it back to Cart, and he's just going to get staggered. Yeah, I guess Missouri's strategy works a lot better for attack, where they can just TP into enemy backline and get a lot of space. Because that Bastion, Rhine TP in is just detrimental to this setup-oriented comp that Flint has. With maybe getting picked in the beginning, it just really solidified Flint's doom.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. We really were expecting... Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Unfortunately, Beedrick getting caught by the Reinhardt charge. As Dorbino's looking for a retake in the castle. Now, maybe Missouri's learned here. They're giving Dorbino absolutely 0 charge. Demon finding a pick on a Dundas as they run back around to try to contest Cart. Dorbino can maybe find Jagged here. Trading off Demon. Maybe falling to Bugatti. Dorbino finding a big Graviton Surge onto both Bap and Ryan.
Not able to finish that Rhine, though, and that may be punishing Dundas, continuing to kind of give this reign of terror here.
No, it's still giving Flint a lot of room to work with. Lucio's not good enough to really solo sustain Ryan here for that long. If they all focus him, unfortunately, they managed to wrap around into Castle and protect him from Demon playing on Cart.
Yeah, Missouri reestablishes a foothold, and U of M Flint is going to need to get back on this payload as a group.
It might be very hard for Flint to play here. We see Dorbino switching onto the Matra, but Missouri has all 5 ultimates at the ready. Ryzon playing on the high ground, being contested by Dorbino here. Dorbino might be able to find the pick. Immortality Field comes out from Ryzon. Down barrier coming out as they look for a push into Castle. Coalescence canceled by Wizards' absolutely massive Earth Shatter as Bugatti manages to find all of Flint's members in cleanup. And they just managed to push the second point here.
Team kill for the enemy team. And U of M Flint is in a bit of a rough spot as Missouri making a very, very quick comeback.
They're looking really formidable here, actually. They're still holding on to 3 ultimates. They have the Amp Matrix ready, and with the Symmetra wall just in their arsenal, it's just bound to set up a lot of space for them. Artillery coming out from Demon, pushing them off of Cart, but it does not find anything. Except Demon himself! Bastion diffing Bugatti as Ramatra runs into Missouri's backline. Demon finds the pick on the Wizard, and they have to look for a reset for this next fight. We have Dorbino and Beedrick's ultimates coming up. I'm not quite sure if that'll really hold off the strong reversal potential from the Sim Bastion ultis. Amp, Ryzon might look for the Amp Matrix to cancel out the choke here. Dodger getting very low from the Bastion bomb.
I think U of M Flint really hoping that this Junkrat play plays through here. Dorbino, what even is going on?
You know, when in doubt, you just walk past the window, and it seemed to work this time around. Like, you have Demon dishing out all the damage while they're just staring at Dorbino because he's walking in front of the window like a Giga Chad.
Unbelievable. I was about to say, I mean, the choice with Junkrat really trying to keep Missouri really oppressed on that payload, needing that extra damage just to keep that Reinhardt back, trying to make him absolutely useless, destroying that shield as fast as possible, and it looks like it's working.
Sound barrier coming up from Dundas as Jiaoji is picked by Ryzon. UM-Flint still having 2 ultimates at their disposal. Unfortunately, Demon falling to Bugatti. Urbino does not manage to touch by just a hair.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, you know, maybe Missouri's attack comp worked a little bit better than their...
For sure. I mean, really, it's good that they didn't actually change it. You know, they didn't make too much of a change when it came to that Symmetra, you know?
Yeah, they really held that for the entire game, really.
Certainly did play out well in their favor. UM-Flint needing to find
maybe a new strategy to really work around the Symmetra.
Right.
Because the way I see it, you have Demon trying to be, you know, this damage dealer, but when you have just a big crystal wall blocking all of your bullets, there's not much you can really do.
I am furrowing my eyebrow at the Pocket Mercy right now. Though there's a lot to be.
You know, I can see this working.
Pharah.
You know, you have the air characters in the Symmetra. Like, that's always been reliable. Cause what's the Symmetra gonna do with their 2-inch beam against someone 20 miles in the sky?
I think it certainly is. I mean, especially with that Pharah giving Mercy a little bit more vertical, it's gonna be a lot more devastating. Hopefully, for the enemy team, not really able to counter that vertical gameplay.
It's really all about maybe looking for these creative angles to not get poked up by the BAP or Bastion. If you can manage to break down the Rhine shield and, you know, look for those turrets, then Dorbino can just walk in for free like this, actually. They're all huddled up on Mega as Dorbino looks for the backline. Demon falling. Beedrick also meeting his demise to Wizard. Unfortunately, maybe just couldn't find that push when they all walked under bridge.
It's looking like Missouri may just be a little too mobile for Mavie here to land these shots.
JJ getting staggered here by the BAP really hurts Flint's momentum. As we have 5 seconds left for the push, Dorbino looks for a little rollout to contest.
And he does indeed contest.
None of them are noticing that they might get a tick here. Finding the pick on the on the Jagged. Immortality Field comes out.
UM-Flint does get that first checkpoint.
Wizard finding a pick on the Beedrick. Unfortunately, Dorbino just doesn't have the healing sustain for it, as Jiaoji's focused on maybe looking for the res in the backline, but they both just fall. As Missouri's defense really kicked it up a notch on that round.
Absolutely. And finally, Missouri digging in, able to really make a stand for themselves here. UM-Flint needing to kind of replicate that same magic.
Now, it might be looking a little bit rough here. Flint,
Bit scary to say
they might
the
have to
least.
play a little bit safer, you know, taking in all that early damage and then getting picked early really dug their grave with the Symmetra TP into the backline.
Absolutely.
So as long as they can watch out for that, then maybe the win is not too far-fetched. See the Junk Bastion coming out here might be able to actually play really well for a defense into Symmetra. You have the disruption from Junkrat's mines, and then Demon maybe being able to find an off angle and just take all the damage, even though they have the Rhine shield. But
I do worry this composition may be a little squishy, maybe a little, you know, open to, I mean, an overwhelming amount of damage, despite Mavie and, you know, the glass cannon approach of this defense. I think it could be a little bit dangerous in regards to Bugatti's Bastion. Hopefully, Demon is able to counter with a more dominant Bastion.
finding the TP onto the high ground. Missouri manages to take a lot of space. Maybe is poked out almost to death. Demon on 1 HP in the backline. Turbino trying to contest this right at the choke. As his shield falls, Flint's getting a lot of room to work with Immortality Field coming up from Ryzon. Wizard charging straight into the backline, finding Maybe. As Bugatti also finds Demon. Turbino trying his best to look for Dundas, but he's just too mobile for him to really catch. And just like that, Flint falls to Missouri.
Goodness gracious, and
It just happened so fast.
it just happened like that. U of M Flint.
Like you really have Missouri banking on the speed and like kind of unpredictability of the sim TP along with the speed boost from Lucio, and Wizard just managing to get a lot of space with the pins. Just really shattered Flint and their defense.
Yeah. I mean, that's Overwatch for you. I mean, it looks so good, and the enemy team able to match that same tempo. It coming down to that capture just ends like that. Man.
Yeah, no. From the looks of it, from all the rounds that Flint's played with this comp, they're really banking on a more slower play style. Like, if they're looking more for not necessarily out sustain, it's more who can set up more space in this amount of time, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you have something as disruptive as Sim TP or Lucio Speed Boost just running through the map, taking all the important vantage points that Flint wants, it just really blows them up.
Yeah. U of M Flint at match point here. It's going to get heated. U of M Flint needing to pull 2 matches over on Missouri here. I mean, it's going to get a little rowdy, going to get a little tense.
Wait, is this a best of 5?
It is a best of 5.
Wait, isn't it 1-1 right now? Or is it by like the points again in game?
It's 2-1 in Missouri's favor, I think.
No, it's 1-1. This is game. This right here is game 3.
Man, how time flies by. Goodness gracious.
You looked at me and you just go,
Well, because it's like sometimes they're just going, and I'm just sitting here like
absorbed in the moment.
I'm just like it's insane. All right, fair point. Thankfully, all right, 1-1.
1-1. We still have a lot of room to work with here.
Well, because we have Arctic Peninsula.
And then
Really? Okay.
yeah.
See, it's multiple scores within games within full matches. It gets
really throw you off.
confusing.
Yeah,
It gets
yeah.
confusing. I have one job.
You know what? It's okay. Sometimes it's hard.
You know, no one's ever said that before.
You know what's right? I'm proud of you.
Yes. Finally, someone gives me what I need. The affirmation. It's all I ever needed. Man, I mean, New Junk City, though. Flashpoint.
Wait, is this a flashpoint? Oh yeah, New Junk City. I was
Certainly
I was
is.
confusing this with the one other map with the weird like junk aesthetic, but yeah, no, New Junk City. I've played this map a couple times recently.
Oh?
It's really confusing for me personally as a returning Overwatch player, right? You got all these flashpoint maps with these really weirdly placed spawns. I don't know where I'm going half the time, but
Right.
I'm sure they do. You know, they're the ones that play this game for the team, so
Without a shadow of a doubt, I know where they know where they're going.
yeah, I hope so.
This is, yeah. I mean, to be fair, we have seen U of M Flint play on New Junk City, and last time it was a blowout. So, you never know. But at the same time, I'm not going to say anything quite yet, but U of M Flint definitely has shown their proficiency and is able to hold choke points when they do kind of establish their foothold, and they kind of know the spawns. So at the very least, there is that team play that is already established.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, thinking about it now, you have this symmetrical flashpoint map, right? So you have all these different angles you can run through. It's the same for everyone, but that gives one team a lot of room to like retake or rotate around. And for like a Zarya, like Dorbino Zarya, that's really big. Like you can get the quick pushes around and maybe a nice little pick because you have the mobility from JJ's Moira, and then you have the damage from Zarya, which a little too high for my taste, but
Yeah, well, it does become so overwhelming. Why is Zarya such a power pick? But at the same time, you gotta admit, there is some formidable skill in Dorbino's ability to not only be good on the timing with the shield, which is like, who cares, right? I mean, it's easy to just press a button when you're getting absolutely rained on, but his mobility with such a heavy tank, such a, just knowing when and where to use the cannon to be able to get those vantage spots has been very important for U of M-Flint to kind of use it as an avenue for rotation and for kind of being able to divide their team up to actually conquer. That's only half of what Dorbino is bringing to the table. All right.
20 seconds left to game time on whatever this map is called, New Junk City.
New Junk City.
Yeah. How can I forget? Why did I know that? Now we have something very interesting from Missouri. We are mirroring the Zarya here. Now Dorbino, famous for his Zarya. Don't know if Wizard G can really own up to the legacy that we have at hand.
And if he does, good on him, because that is a massive rank difference that I can't even begin to comprehend here.
Yeah, you can't diss the underdogs. I don't know. Now as we look for a fight here under the choke, Reaper caught out with no fade and no bubbles.
Ooh.
As Flint finds the first pick on the Bugatti, Dorbino getting a lot of space to work with. Dorbino finding Ryzon. Enemy Zarya caught without any bubbles. Lucio is the only one left to sustain, but he's running into Flint's backline, copping out Beedrick, but not making it out. As Flint finds the first capture onto the first point.
Yeah, they're going to establish this front line, but Bugatti, that Reaper, I don't think it's going to play well here. I really don't.
Really?
I mean,
like, I think it has a lot of potential here.
For sure.
Like, you have Zarya able to really, like, pull him out of the danger zone with all that damage. And Reaper gets a lot of rain to just run into their back line with the turrets. And he melts Flint's front line just like that. Dorbino is down. And that gives Missouri a lot of room to work with as they find picks on the Demon and JJ. Beedrick and Maybe trying to just find their way out of here.
U of M-Flint falling to the Reaper that I had previously discouraged. Man, Dorbino sucks at Zarya.
No. What do you mean it's a Zarya gap? Look at the ult charge difference. We have 8% on Dorbino. Think about it.
That's true. That's a massive difference.
Like, 8's a lot. We can't say anything yet. All right. JJ with her coalescence up, maybe able to look for a good push onto this choke. Dorbino picking up the energy here as Bugatti gets picked with the Death Blossom up. Jaguar trying to look around for this visor. Wizard and Dundas fall. And Missouri give the point over to Flint.
Goodness gracious, U of M-Flint just pushing them right back over, steamrolling them, and reestablishing the point. I mean, this seems to be like U of M-Flint's flashpoint right here.
Exactly. Like, Dorbino's just getting a lot of value with this this Zarya pick, especially into the Reaper that Flint's backline needs to peel from. The sound barrier coming out from Dundas, not able to protect them from the grab. As JJ follows up with the coalescence, they dish out a lot of damage.
U of M-Flint capturing that flashpoint with a perhaps game-saving ultimate from Dorbino. We'll see how the rest of the game plays out, but man,
Absolutely dorbed.
Dorbed on for sure.
How can Missouri recover? I don't know, maybe by a retaliation grab from Wizard. Like, maybe they use it to retake, or if Dorbino walks up a step too far, he can get caught out really easily by Bugatti here. The Graviton comes up from Wizard looking for UM-Flint, but
No effect on target.
no effect on
Bugatti.
Dorbino, but JJ and Maybe finding their way down 6 feet under as the rest of Flint falls. Dorbino almost had that healing pylon to rely on, but it falls along with him, and the point goes over to Missouri.
Of course, when I was referencing when I was referencing effect on target, the target was in fact Dorbino.
That is true.
So it truly is the result of that truly dominant Zarya here.
Unfortunately, we just have to pan out a little bit more to see Flint get destroyed by the rest of the grab, but we have a lot of space to work with here as Dorbino runs up on this high ground. Demon dishing out a lot of damage, forcing them back around the corner. Dorbino fighting a lot of damage on the wire. Graviton Surge comes out along with Missouri's Lamp.
That really big follow-up, and UM-Flint taking too much time to actually act on that ult there.
Unfortunately, it's like you really have to pair Flint's grab with ultimates, or else you can't really get a lot of value, because you have all this damage mitigated from Lamp, and then you have these bubbles really just eating up all that, and then not a lot of follow-up to work with.
Yeah.
Now we do have Flint supports coming up with the ultimates, but Missouri pulls out their Amp Matrix and Visor. They cannot walk through the choke with the aggressive sound barrier, but they just stay in place. Doesn't really matter. As Flint are pushed back very far, they have the potential to retake with JJ's Coalescence here. Wait, I didn't even realize they fully capped that flash point. All right, now as both teams walk over to the new point, we have more ultimates favored for Flint here, as the Ilaria ultimate comes out to look for the Zarya. Bison falling first for Missouri. Bugatti finding a massive Death Blossom onto U of M Flint's backline. And as he finds 4, their push is completely shut down. Now we are still holding on to the Coalescence, but Wizard's grab is coming up, and I'm not sure if it can really sustain it with all this damage from Missouri. DPS ultimate's coming up as well. Dorbino's grab almost in play.
Of course, Mavy's Molten Core almost there as well. I mean, we might just have full damage, no Graviton Surge coming up, but Dorbino does have a mission.
Coalescence coming up from JJ, looking to keep Dorbino up here as Demon finds Wizard with the artillery. They manage to walk through the rest of Missouri's backline as Dorbino finds Dundas, and Biedrick finds Bugatti. Point goes over to U of M Flint.
U of M Flint clinching that one away, just barely 5%, just on the cusp, and U of M Flint needing to keep this defense up if they don't want to be looking straight at the game point here.
Now it's going to be really hard if U of M Flint tries to stack here, because you have Wizard's Graviton looking for Dorbino here with no Coalescence from JJ. He might fall, but with the return grab, Flint manages to dish out a lot of damage, completely stopping their push. As Dorbino looks for more,
Yeah, Dorbino
finds Wizard.
needing to act on this to actually make a big dent in any sort of follow-up that Missouri is going to have here. Dundas playing a dangerous
game from Biedrick here, finding 2 to clean up their last push here. Now they do have support ultimates work, or Missouri does have support ultimates to work with, but not sure if it's enough as Jagged falls to JJ. And they managed to cap the point.
And at the end of the day, that flashpoint is all that's important as UM-Flint takes that and runs into this game point here.
With no casualties to boot there.
Yeah.
Like that last fight?
Absolutely clean execution from UM-Flint.
Now we can see a really good push from Missouri here with the Death Blossom coming up. They can just run in with Speed Boost and beat. If they can manage to bait out Dorbino's bubbles, then it might just be Jover. However, Beedrick
No way you just said Jover.
What was that?
Okay. Anyway.
We're cool, right? We gotta keep up with the trendy new language.
It is trendy new language.
Dorbino finding the pick on the Bugatti. As the sound barrier comes out, it is not enough to sustain the entirety of Missouri as they fall and give the point over to Flint.
Demon holding it down with an absolute barrage of rounds, hitting every single teammate in Missouri's team here.
Now, once again, we do have Dorbino's graph coming up, and with the artillery, we can really bank on a gigantic combo. Maybe that one important pick, or maybe the entire team, but let's just see what Dorbino can pull out. Bugatti does have a Death Blossom, looking for the back line here. Dorbino not in range to bubble, but Demon finds the damage to kill Bugatti. Dorbino might be caught out here as both Zarya's fall.
Oh, baby! Beedrick just laying into him!
Absolutely reaping into Missouri's team. Beedrick finding 3.
Okay, Beedrick.
What I like to see. No, that. Why is everything doing so much damage?
Welcome to Overwatch 2, baby.
Man. Now we do see the swap to Winston. from
Winston.
Wizard. Might be very creative into the Tor Bastion.
Is that also a Sombra I see?
It is a very desperate call from Missouri here. JJ with the Coalescence to maybe just retract any damage they take, but it doesn't really matter as Bugatti only finds Mavie. He turns around to see his entire team is just gone.
U of M Flint.
And with no one to contest, New Junk City goes over to U of M Flint, leading the series 2-1.
2-1, baby. It's 2-1. Beedrick here. What an Alari play. Just the precision Beedrick played in this game here, in this map. Having kind of this open area, but also a lot of choke points where he can really just kind of like play out. It warmed my heart.
No,
it really
it's
did.
like they didn't have that unpredictability of the Sim with the Lucio. Like they opted for the Reaper this time, which was good in theory, you know, because Dorbino was really the main problem for Missouri. And looking to tear into the front line there really just gave a lot of room for Beedrick to work with. And you could really see Demon and Mavie popping off here because, you know, when your support's not dying and you're given a lot of space to work with, throw down your turret, you know, set up, maybe toss a couple bombs in there, then they're just chilling, really.
I thought momentarily, of course, that Reaper play, you know, it irked me at first, and I didn't necessarily know why, but it really, at the end of the day, just became more fuel to Dorbino's fire. I mean, of course, there is that ultimate. There is, you know, the unbelievable melting damage that he does to tanks, but everyone else being able to just focus on that Reaper, and at the end of the day, when he did deal damage, Dorbino negating that, and, you know, U of M Flint easily able to run that pick over, kind of leaving an empty slot for U Missouri here.
Yeah. Like, what am I trying to say here? I was going to say something about the comps, but it just completely floated past my head.
What, the desperate pick there at the end,
Yo,
perhaps?
oh, yes! The entire just team comp swap at the end was really how do I say this nice?
What were they
Sad?
cooking? What were they cooking?
Like they tried. They did not throw enough thought into it. Maybe maybe missed some salt, some pepper.
I think, like on that third flashpoint, that could have been a opportunity to try the Winston Sombra, try the more dive material here, but it was too little, too late.
Oh, for
Obviously, like you were saying.
Like maybe it could have worked if Flint didn't have every ultimate stacked, or they didn't have all the momentum in the game already. Like as I said earlier, the dive was really threatening the Flint's entire structure, because when your immobile supports are getting ran up on by a Rhine and Bastion, there's not much you can do. Like you can peel all you want with 2 bubbles, but eventually they shoot through it. So
That is how it is, but here we are going into an escort map.
Esperanza.
Ooh, that's not how it's pronounced.
Is it not Esperanza?
Esperanza. But
Esperanza?
you know, it's a Spanish thing. Well, I don't actually know where this map is. Is it Spain? Or
That sounds like Brazil, no?
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 No shot.
Like do you
no
see
shot.
any other language
No,
with
but
the weird little accent under the sea?
The flag is not Brazilian though.
Maybe we'll see something around the map that'll really
Maybe.
distort that, but we're gonna be looking at the gameplay for what it is here, so might not be able to focus on that.
Might not be able to focus on the cultural impact of this current map here, but we will get back to you when we can. Of course, the watermelons playing a huge role into the culture here.
Oh, for sure. All right, now we are back on to here with the classic U of M comp, swapping out the Tor for the Soldier into Missouri's rush comp again. Might be a little bit tough, as you know, they have a lot of sustain with the BAP Lucio for the Rhine. Soldier, being a consistent DPS character, doesn't really have the damage to melt through as he might want, but maybe with the Bastion, looking really good for Flint here, as Dorbino is just running onto them with almost full charge. Immortality Field is already baited out by Flint.
Ooh, Demon taking quite a bit of damage there, getting a little scary. But of course, Missouri making the same mistake over again, giving Dorbino all the charge in the world.
As he tears into the Bastion, Wizard falling, Dorbino fighting Fugati. The final 2 remaining members of Missouri are forced to back, or they risk being staggered. As the robot goes over to Flint, we see a whole bunch of ultimates coming up for Flint here. Dorbino
Just pushing in, fearless.
just guns a-blazing.
And I think that overextension is almost needed sometimes on these escort maps, giving your team, like you always say, that space, a big gap to where Missouri is expecting U of M-Flint to hop out of a certain corner, but really they're pushing that escort through and making it to that next checkpoint, delaying Missouri's movement.
Big stalling grab coming up from Dorbino, almost getting caught out by the speed rush from Lucio here. Now Missouri does find 2 picks on the Flint because of Ryzon's Amp Matrix. Beedrick looking for the Alari ulti to maybe, you know, have a saving grace, but it's unfortunately just too late. Maybe we can see a bit of a support diff here.
Oh baby!
Beedrick showing Ryzon who's the boss.
Almost dying, I will say. Down to
Living
6
on
health.
16 HP.
6 health, actually.
Dundas still looking for him, running very deep. Wizard out of position to look for this Alari as they rotate back towards the robot. Now the tides have been reset, but there are more ultimates available for Missouri, but Jagged Wire falls to Demon. As Ryan looks to charge out to live, Dorbino looking to take a lot of this space. Jiaoji finding Dundas. Immortality Field coming up from Ryzon. Bugatti managing to live for this long. Eventually falling to the Dorbino, but wow is all I can say, honestly.
And that's, yeah, I mean, that's just the category we're in. What a push. U of M Flint just staying a solid stone statue against the ever wrapping, ever damaging Missouri here.
You know, I feel like so much just went on during that fight. I couldn't quite keep up. Maybe getting picked off by Bugatti. Dundas dropping the sound barrier. Ryzon dropping his immortality field. Turbino still holding on to grab. If Beedrick can manage to keep him up here, they can look for a return play. Unfortunately, he is caught around the corner, and Flint is cleaned up. All right. Now, Missouri does have 4 ultimates at the ready. Amp Matrix really playing in with this Bastion here, sitting behind the Rhine. With Flint having to walk through a choke, they can dish out a whole lot of damage. The artillery comes out from Demon and Bugatti. Unfortunately for Missouri, Demon was the one to get the pick this time. Earthshatter coming out from Wizard, missing maybe. Finding Wizard down.
Back in control.
Just a whole lot going on. Unfortunately, we didn't see the we did not see the Amp Matrix come out from Ryzon. I honestly believe it could have saved Missouri from this hard push from Flint, but maybe they can do some funny retake with it. But might not be good enough, as we have the beloved Grav Cole combo coming up. As they look for a wraparound onto Durbino, he falls as they drop the Amp Matrix in the backline. Not even looking at the robot. As the Symmetra ultimate comes out, Demon cannot dish out any damage, but they do have to walk past the wall to contest Cart. Wizard dashing straight in. Beedrick looking to keep everyone alive and test Cart. As Flint falls, they still have a massive distance advantage on Missouri here. And we still managed to hold on to Grab.
And that grab is going to play big into countering this escort here. Durbino already with a little bit of harassment on their flank. It's going to be that much more important.
Fortunately, maybe falling to Ryzon here, kind of slowing down the potential momentum Flint has. As Durbino finds almost max energy off that bubble, can really start ramping this damage on the front line.
Here it comes.
Dundas looking for the sound barrier to rush out on the Durbino. Wizard missing his charge. Demon supporting. Bugatti finding Demon. Unfortunately, they are walking straight into a full charge Zarya.
Dare I say it's Dorban time. UM-Flint is just in it to win it here. Durbino coming in from the vantage.
Dropping from the heavens onto the Sim and Bap here. They look to retake the bot and cement their push. Now we do have another ultimate here. No, we still never used that grab, have we?
No, Durbino doesn't need it at the current moment. Actually is completely fine.
The raw discipline on this man.
Absolutely. I mean, the trigger discipline on that ultimate, I mean, it's playing into, you know, an actually important play, hoping to actually move this wall and get it to the enemy base, making sure that he saved this grab for something so much bigger than him.
Now this might be hard for Flint to play. They are playing extremely split. With the rush potential from Missouri, they're able to walk onto Flint's backline. Beedrick finding a pick onto Bugatti. Durbino eating the charge. Sim ultimate comes out from Wire. As Demon has to kite back, he falls anyways. Can Durbino make it out with his 50 charge? Wizard just going straight in for him. Not managing to get any energy. He didn't slam into a wall, but that is Flint's push stop. However, look at the amount of distance Flint has over Missouri. Yeah, it's on the verge of hopeless here as Visor comes out from maybe looking to harass their backline when running up to this high ground. Finds a pick for Beedrick. Earthshatter coming out from Wizard, not finding anything.
Durbino just denying that ultimate and moving in to clean it all up.
You could say the shatter from the Rhine missing everything. Maybe their mental died along with it.
That's really unfortunate. That's well said. Well said.
Very unfortunate for Missouri here as they make the swap back over to full dive. Savra, Monkey, Tracer.
We're seeing a
Swap from almost a full beat over to the Kiriko. Left with only an Amp Matrix in their spawn. JJ and Dorbino having the grab available. Kitsune Rush coming out, cleaning up the rest of Missouri as they make that final push to that last point. And just like that, U of M-Flint wins the series over Missouri 3-1.
gorgeous gameplay. Oh my goodness gracious. Shout out to Ryzen.
You know, you don't see a whole lot of support play of the games nowadays, so it doesn't hurt to see, you know, my personal favorite character running it up on the Amp Matrix, you know.
For sure. But U of M-Flint, I mean, becoming that dominant force on every map, it's just, you know, every time they surprise me more and more. I'm sure Pixel is watching or will watch and will be so proud of his team because goodness gracious, did U of M-Flint perform today?
Truly, they did. Honestly, might have looked a little bit grim at some points, like on Eichenwald, like they didn't know how to necessarily deal with the rush
I thought
comp,
we
but
were losing 2-1. So,
at least we got that mistake cleared up, right?
right?
And we turned that around for the 3-1.
Absolutely.
Almost a sweep. Almost a sweep.
Almost.
Unfortunately not.
Almost.
You know, you could be able to call it almost a sweep if we started off 2-0, but it was 1-1. But you know what? That's besides the point.
That's besides the point, of course.
We won. We won. Best out of 5. 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was great. I love the gameplay. It was you know, and the skill shots. Beatrick just giving us every time, you know, we would pan over, just, you know, a little headshot on an enemy support here and there, and it all adds up big time. Just being able to really push through Missouri here, and you know, shout out to them for sitting through these games.
For sure, yeah.
And I mean, they did win a round on us.
They did.
But despite the actual like massive rank difference that you would see on paper, Missouri definitely held their own. And they were quite formidable.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
They did really well for being the underdog in this game.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed seeing the efforts of them, but unfortunately, we're just
we're just a little better, yeah. I mean, at least for the moment. Who knows what happens when we get into playoffs?
I mean, we'll get better.
That's a win. That's a win. I'm expecting U of M-Flint making it into the playoffs, and I expect nothing less. You guys can do it.
I expect nothing less than first, honestly. Like we have a lot of potential here.
Certainly there is a lot of potential. I mean, we definitely have a great average rank, and you know, this team can take it far. So
for sure. As we
for
build up those that team synergy throughout these games, you can really see it. We'll really be making it far here.
Yeah.
I have a lot of belief here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the believers in chat.
Any believers?
Any believers? just crickets. Nah,
we know you're out there. We know you're out there.
U of M-Flint has clearly shown their proficiency here, so it's only a matter of time. But of course, thank you guys for watching, and that'll be it for tonight. I mean, it's
we got nothing else, right?
Right. I mean, that'll be it.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Can you believe how fast U of M-Flint just took that one?
Oh yeah. 3-1, only 4 games out of 5.
Out of
That's
5.
a whole one game.
That's a whole one game we didn't have to play. But yeah, congrats to the players. Congrats, Missouri, on, you know, being such a formidable opponent. GG's. And of course, you can follow us at UMF_esports on any social media. thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. See, when is next time?
I don't know.
Today is.
Isn't like next Thursday? Or this Thursday? I don't know. I saw something about
Tomorrow,
World
you
Games.
might be seeing League of Legends. You might be seeing Rainbow Six. You might be seeing a variety of games. But, of course, always check in at 7 p.m. Every weekday. Every weekday. We are a school, after all. So check in, catch the stream, and we'll see you next time.